If you have social media that is dominated by algorithms that pull people down these rabbit holes that are a bit like pitcher plants, these algorithms, they are the digital equivalent of AR-15s.
Yes, this is despicable. This man sent this out on Twitter. Our God says social media algorithms are like digital AR-15s and says they need to be banned. It is insane. The left hate the First and Second Amendment and they aren't even hiding it anymore. They are the digital equivalents of AR-15. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. It is an abuse of the public forum. Just imagine banning social media algorithms because of this insane man.
If you have social media that is dominated by algorithms that pull people down these rabbit holes that are a bit like pitcher plants, these algorithms, they are the digital equivalent of AR-15s. They ought to be banned. They really ought to be banned. It's an abuse of the public forum. But when people are pulled down these rabbit holes, you know what's at the bottom of the rabbit hole? That's where the echo chamber is. And if you spend too much time in the echo chamber, what's weaponized is another form of AI, not artificial intelligence, artificial insanity. I'm serious. I'm serious. QAnon is just the best known version of artificial insanity. And these devices are the enemies of self-government, and they're the enemies of democracy. We need reforms for both democracy and capitalism. Both sets of reforms are possible.
Yes, there is a video I put out few hours ago pertaining to Maher. A question surfaced to him pertaining to knowing the World Economic Forum. He pretended that he doesn't know anything about Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum. Who is Klaus Schwab? I was very shocked. Timpo react to this. That was awesome. I love the reactions. I'm going to play this so you can see exactly what he said. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please endeavor to do that. And if possible, why not share this video?
I want to jump to this story from scnr.com. Who's that? Bill Maher reveals to Roseanne Barr he's never heard of MK Ultra or the World Economic Forum. This is such an amazing example of the ignorance that persists among liberals. And let me play for you this video. Roseanne educating Bill Maher in a hilarious way.
No wonder I don't remember this.
No shit, you blocked it out, MK Ultra.
Who's that?
That's the mind control program you're under, Bill.
MK Ultra?
Yeah.
He doesn't even remember.
So who's Klaus Schwab?
The head of the WEF.
What's that?
Google it.
Yo, this is why, I'm going to be completely honest, Bill Maher won't come on this show. And I think there's a reason why liberals and leftists avoid this show because, look, Roseanne, I mean, she knows what MK Ultra is. She knows what the World Economic Forum is. In this video, she didn't even say much about it, but Bill Maher has no idea. These people, they live on the tip of the iceberg, up top, above the surface level, and we're all scuba diving. So we see all the dirt, the grime, and the horrors of the deep state. And people like Bill Maher standing up top looking around like, it's just water. Y'all are crazy. And nothing but water. And we're like, down there's skulls and other really awful, disgusting things. Roseanne gets to hang out with Bill Maher, but this is it. This is a good example of where liberals are at. They have no idea what's going on. They don't pay attention. They don't care.
That is how the conversations went on. It is insane that Maher in this podcast behaved like he doesn't know anything about World Economic Forum. We all know, Maher knows, but to prevent some kind of conversations, to proceed, he had to behave like he knows nothing about World Economic Forum. That is what I realized after watching this video. A lot of people reacted to it with different versions, but that is how I see it. He knew that if he accepts he knows him, a lot of questions will pass on and the conversations will prolong. So to derail everything, it is to pretend like I don't know Eve. But it is funny, when you have a podcast, you should be real. Don't behave like certain kind of topics are not really okay, in this kind of funny way. For somebody that understand what was going on will read exactly like what I've just said.
No wonder I don't remember this.
No shit, you blocked it out, MK Ultra.
Who's that?
That's the mind control program you're under, Bill.
MK Ultra?
Yeah.
So who's Klaus Schwab?
The head of the WEF.
What's that?
Google it.
Back. What is it? 20 years later, 10 years later, something with
20.
the reboot of the sitcom goes to #1 again.
Try that, bitches.
And then you tweeted something that I don't even know if you thought it was racist. It certainly was.
It was not.
Well, okay, well.
I thought the bitch was white.
I know, that's what you thought, but that doesn't mean it isn't racist because obviously.
She looks just like the.
When I look at someone like Maher, actually saying this, I was shocked. Simple reactions to that says everything. They need to be like that. If they don't know about World Economic Forum, then they don't actually know what is happening or what is to happen in the future when it comes. That is how everyone is affected. It is insane, right? I'll read out this article so you can understand exactly what happened during that podcast because I cannot play all that video here. They might give me a copyright strike. The exchange occurred during an episode of Club Random with Maher, a podcast where Maher engaged in relaxed conversations with guests who often have unorthodox political or ideological views. At one point earlier in the podcast, Maher asked if Maher remember getting into fist fight with her at the Playboy Mansion. You think I will remember a thing like that? He says, we were both drunk and all F up. She says, you call me something and I call you something. You remember that? I don't, but I'm not denying it. Maher replies. When Maher asks if that is the bank that controls everything, Maher names the Bank of International Settlement in Switzerland and claims that banks control all the wars, they finance all the wars. She says their job is to stir up wars and aim both sides of the profit. That is how the conversations went on.